after the interview. If you record your interview, we recommend you make a transcript afterwards. In the transcript, you write down what both sides said during the interview. A transcript is very convenient because it means you do not have to listen to the entire interview recording again if you want to look up what has been said. Still, writing a transcript sounds easier than it is. Because you can never write down every single aspect of the interview, not just the words people uttered, but also the tone of voice, facial expressions, the details of your surroundings, etc. It means that you as the researcher need to decide what is worth writing down and how to do it. It also means that you cannot rely solely on your transcript when analyzing your interviews. It is important to listen to the interview recording every now and then to check if your transcript is accurate. There are 3 types of transcripts. An unfocused transcript simply recounts what was said during the interview. It identifies the interviewer and the respondent, but it does not order the interview in any other way. An indexical transcript involves some kind of indexation of your interview material. A very simple index would be to organize your transcript around a timeline so you know exactly what was said when. Make sure that the index you use is identical for each interview and review it periodically. The focused transcript provides a detailed outline of the interview. Not just what was said, but also how it was said. Think, for instance, of the tone of voice, all the ums and the ahs, nonverbal communication, and what have you. To provide this level of detail, researchers often use symbols. This, for instance, is Dressler and Kreutz's transcription system. The top symbol here means that something was said slowly, and the middle symbol means that it was said rapidly. The 0.5 in between brackets indicates a pause of half a second. If you add these symbols to your transcript, it will look very complicated, as you can see. We recommend that you either do an indexical transcript or an unfocused transcript, or a combination thereof. Which type of transcript you decide to make, keep in mind that all transcripts add a certain meaning to your text. Think, for instance, about the connotations of particular accents. Your decision to take accents into account when writing the transcript may lead others reading your transcript to interpret your respondents in a particular way. Transcribing is a lot of work. For each 10 minutes of speech, you can easily spend 1 hour transcribing it. Luckily, technology makes transcribing easier. These days, smartphones allow you to make audio recordings so you don't have to acquire a separate recording device. You can upload the recording of the interview onto your computer and use software to play and pause it. Digital recordings also make it easier to use qualitative data analysis software such as NVivo or Atlas TI. Unfortunately, speech recognition software is not advanced enough yet to make transcription automatic. So when you decide to do qualitative interviews, schedule enough time to transcribe them afterwards. When you are done with your transcript, you need to decide if you want to share your transcript with the respondent or not. Sharing your transcript with the respondent has the benefit that the respondent can check for accuracy, which will increase the validity of your study. We call this respondent validation. Sometimes respondents realize they forgot to share important information with you during the interview. Giving them the opportunity to comment on the transcript could then lead to additional useful information to answer your research question. But respondent validation also has a downside. Respondents may not like reading back their spoken words, with all the incomplete sentences, grammar mistakes, and other imperfections common to day-to-day speech. They might regret sharing certain pieces of information with you, or they simply feel a little bit intimidated by the research process, that their interview with you has been formalized and documented in the transcript. This may lead them to withdraw their consent to participate in your study. It's an unfortunate situation, but one you will need to respect. A final consideration to make when you are doing interviews is how you will manage your recordings. To keep an overview of your data collection, we suggest you make an interview log. An interview log may look something like this. It details precisely whom you've interviewed, when the interview took place, if a consent form was signed, when you transcribed the interview, possible respondent validation, and where you have archived the interview.